Paper 4, May, June 2021. Paper 4-1 we are going to solve in this video. Let's see. First question from the finance. Simple, if you remember the rules of the finance, the total cost of a taxi journey is calculated as, this is a way to calculate the cost, $0.50 per kilometer plus $0.40 per minute also. Mean your fare will be calculated in this way, like whatever distance you traveled, for each kilometer you will pay, and the time also that you spend. So this is the way to calculate. So calculate the total cost of the journey of 32 kilometer, that takes 30 minutes. Okay, what will be the cost for 32 kilometer? Per kilometer 0.5. So that will be 0.50 multiply 32, because these are the kilometers, plus per minute is 0.40 and 30 minutes time duration is there. So 30 multiply 0.40. That will be the total cost. Because this is the division how the fare will be calculated. So calculate it now. 0.50 multiply by 32 plus 30 multiply 0.40. So 28. It means the fare for this journey will be $28. Simple question. I think no complication is there at all for this question. So $28 is the fare for this one. Just very basic mathematics is there in this question. Number 2 is the total cost of the journey is 100 kilometer. For 100 kilometer is $98. Show that the time taken is 2 hours. So you have to prove that now the journey is 100 kilometer. Yes. For 100 kilometer, we know for each kilometer is 0.50. So what will be the cost for the 100 kilometer? 100 multiply 0.50. That is the cost for 100 kilometer. Yes. For 100 kilometer, it will be. Okay, calculate that 100 multiply 0.50. You are getting 50. It means $50 are for distance. Now remaining are how many? 98 he paid. So remaining are 98 minus 50, 48. So $48 are actually paid for the time. If I have to calculate what is the time for that one, we know per minute is 0.40. So if I want to check that $48 will be how many minutes, so it will be 48 if I have to take the time. Total cost is $48, per minute cost is 0.40. So 40 divided by 0.40. So that is no, one second. 48 divided by 0.40. By mistake, I wrote 40. So 120 minutes. It means it is giving us 120 minutes. And 120 minutes means 2 hours. Yes, that will be equal to 2 hours. So we prove that the time taken is 2 hours. It's very simple because you paid $48 and it said that per minute cost is 0.40. So how many minutes is taking? 48 divided by per minute cost. That's simple. A little bit tricky, but it's very simple, not difficult at all. Part B. 3 taxi drivers travel a total of 8,190 kilometers in this ratio. So, this is the ratio for the driver number 1, ratio for the driver number 2, ratio for the driver number 3. Calculate the distance each driver travel. And we know very well that what is the formula for that, for any ratio if we have to find. How do we find any particular ratio? We say the part of ratio for that one, yes, part of ratio divided by sum of ratios multiply by total distance. So in that case, if I have to take the distance for driver number one, driver one distance, so how I will take that? The ratio of the driver number one divided by sum of the ratios, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 14, multiply by total distance. Total distance is 8,190. So what distance that will be? 5 over 14 multiply by 8,190. 2,925. 2,925 kilometers. That is for driver number one. Now what will be for the driver number two distance? The distance for second driver, this will be its ratio divided by sum of the ratios multiply by total distance. Okay, so that will become 2 over 14 multiply by 8,190. So 1,170. 1,170 kilometers. Now for driver number three, the ratio of that driver divided by sum of ratios multiply by total distance. So it will become 7 over 14 multiply by 8,190. So 4,095. So 4,095 kilometers. You want to verify, you can add all of these distances, you will get your answer in that case. The total distance will be there. So pretty simple. Okay, sorry. Next we have part C. After midnight, the cost of taxi journey increased by 45%. One journey cost $84.10 after midnight. I mean, this is the increased cost. Okay. Calculate the cost of the same journey before midnight. Now, before midnight will be 100%. After midnight is increased, 45% increase. Mean this cost is 145%. Because 100% is always the original one. Before the midnight, this cost is 145%. That is $84.10. So what will be 100% then? 100% will be the before midnight. That we don't know. Let's say it is X. So cross multiply. Cross multiplication, it will be X into 145 will be equal to 100 into 84.10. So what X will be? 100 multiply by 84.10 divided by 145. So what we will get here? 100 multiply by 84.10 divided by 145. So 58. It means $58 is the original cost that after midnight has increased to this one. This was our question number one, very simple question. And now in question number two, this is a speed time graph, speed and time. The diagram shows the speed time graph for 180 seconds of the journey. Till this one, you can see. It means this is, here we have 180 seconds. Find the acceleration in meter per second square for the train during first 50 seconds. You can see even here it is accelerating in the first 50 seconds till this one only. Okay, what is acceleration? We know in the speed time graph, acceleration is always equal to the gradient of the line. So if you know the gradient of this line, that will give you the acceleration. And what you need for the gradient? 2 points. This point from where it is starting, you can take that one 0, 0. And what is this point? The horizontal one is 50. The vertical one is 9, 59. So what will be the acceleration? It means acceleration will be gradient. And what is gradient? Y2 minus y1. You can say this is your x1, y1. This is your x2, y2. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But that will give you 9 over 50. Let's say 9 divided by 50. 0.18. So that will be 0.18. It means the acceleration is 0.18 meter per second for the first 50 seconds, because this is even, you can say, the duration where it is accelerating, that it is not accelerating. It become constant. After that, its speed is not changing. I mean, here it is moving with constant speed when the line is horizontal. Now, part B is, after 180 seconds, the train decelerates at a constant rate of kilometer per hour square. Show that train decelerates for 60 seconds until it stops. Now, the acceleration is given. This is the acceleration. It is called the negative acceleration. Okay. So we have to prove that the train decelerates for 60 seconds. Mean time we have to find in that case for 60 seconds until it stops. The duration in which it deaccelerates, in which it's going to stop. So in that case, what I can do, first I have to change the unit of the negative acceleration. The given unit, if I will convert it, so that is going to be, it is kilometer. First change the kilometer into meter, because the speed is in meter per second. So it will be 1944 multiplied by 1000. That will become kilometer. Then divide, meter. Then per hour square. If it is 1 hour, you will just divide by 3600. Now this is hour square, so 3600 multiplied by 3600. You know, if you just have kilometer per hour, then what you will do, you will multiply by 1000, divide by 3600. Right now we are having kilometer per hour square. So you will divide by 3600, multiply by 3600. So for that will be your deceleration in that case. So let me calculate that one, what it will be. 1944 multiplied by 1000 divided by 3600 multiplied by 3600. So it will give us 0.15. Okay, so after 180 seconds, that is we can say at a constant rate of is 0.15, mean negative 0.15. That is, it shows that it is decreasing. Okay, now you have to show that the train decelerates for 60 seconds. The time duration for which it deaccelerated, that we have to find in that case. So after 180 seconds, if you look at the graph for a while, oh sorry, I went two back. If you look at the graph, after 180 seconds, if it is decelerating, so for 60 seconds, yes, we have to prove it. We have to show that it will decelerate for 60 seconds. Now, in that case, to prove that, the time taken for that one is 60 seconds. I need to look at the speeds. What was the initial speed in that case from where it started accelerating? It started at that time, the speed is 9. You can see here, the speed is 9. And it will reach to 0. It will reach to 0. Look at the definition if we take. In that case, I can say here, the speed, for example, at this time, this point, if I'm taking this one, it is 9. I will say it's 180, 180 and 9. When it will stop, we don't know the time. So you can say at the stopping point, the time we don't know how long time it took, but we are sure that at that time the speed will become 0. Because when it will stop, obviously somewhere it will stop. At that time we don't know at what time, but the speed will be 0 at that time. So now if you apply the rule for the acceleration it means it can be, I can say acceleration can be y2 minus y1. This negative sign is just showing that it is a negative value, it is decreasing. If you don't write even, no problem. Over x2 minus x1. It's given that this is 0.15 equals to y2. Y2 can be, for example, is starting from 180, 9 and is stopping at t0. So this is your y2, y1, this is your y2. So your y2 is 0 minus y1. You can write the negative value also, no problem. Your y2 is 0, y1 is minus 9 over your x2. This is x1 because from here now it's starting x1 and this is x2 because it's decreasing now. So we will say t minus 180. So now calculate the time duration for this one. I will say that will become minus 9 over t minus 180. So take this to the other side, it will become minus 0.15. Or this negative you can cancel with negatives, it will be more better. And it will be t minus 180 equal to 9. And then it can be t minus 180 will be equal to 9 over 0.15 plus 180. No, it will not be 0.9 divided by, 9 divided by 0.15. Directly even it can take the acceleration is, or instead of that we can do another thing, make it more easy instead of getting it complicated in that way. We can say that we found that the acceleration is 0.15 meter per second square. This is 0.15 meter per second square. So if for acceleration we know that acceleration is rate of change of velocity or speed with respect to time. So in that case I can do it in this way also. I know that the change of the speed was 9. Over the time duration taken we don't know, but the acceleration also we know was 0.15. So what can be acceleration here? 9 over 0.15. That will be 60. So it's proved that it took 60 seconds. And then the last part is saying part C is complete the speed time graph. Now to complete the speed time graph after 180, where will be 60 seconds? 20. Each box is 10. Yes. 210, 220. Sorry, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this is the point where it will stop. So you can join them. The graph will complete. And then calculate the average speed of the train. For average speed, you need to find the total distance traveled. And what will be the total distance? Total distance will be the area of this one. For area, we have from 0 till 250. And this side is from 50 till 180. Means from 50 till 180, it will be 130. And this parallel side is going to be 250. And the height is 9. So first find the total distance. What will be distance? Distance will be area under the curve. So 130 plus 50 multiplied by 9. That will give you the distance. 0.5 multiply with 180 multiply by 9. So 810 is the distance. That is. Now the time duration, total time duration for the journey, it has been given that is, sorry, it's 240. Because till this one, when we said that, so 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this is 240, I'm sorry. If it will be 240, then it should be, in that case, I calculate a wrong value for the distance. The distance will be the parallel side. This parallel side, if you look here, this parallel side will be 240 and this one will be 130. So I should write here 1/2 240 plus 130 multiplied by 9. And the time duration is 240 seconds. So will be 0.5 multiplied by 370 multiplied by 9. So it will be 1665 meter. And time taken is 240 seconds. So what will be the average speed if we have to find? Average speed will be total distance divided by total time. Total distance divided by total time, it will make 6.94, you can say. So 6.94 meter per second will be the average speed of the journey. For the full journey, this will be the average speed. Okay. Hopefully this is clear. If any doubt is there, please let me know.